Let's talk about building dynamic SOQL queries. A dynamic SOQL query is something that you build at runtime using some condition in your Apex code. And the dynamic SOQL query enables you to create more flexible applications. For example, based on some condition, you can change the retrieval fields in your SOQL query. You can also change the where conditions in your SOQL query, or you can change some other clauses in your SOQL query. For example, let's say you have a account type variable in your Apex code, and if the value of this account type variable is red, then you want to add a condition to your SOQL query where you want to match the rating as hot and the amount should be greater than 100k. So this is something that you will be building at runtime based on the account type variable value. And then to execute this query, you cannot define it within the square braces. You need to use database.query method, and this method accepts the query string and then it executes it. So when you build the dynamic SOQL query, you cannot define them in square braces the way we used to do. The square braces SOQL queries are more or less static, or they can only accept bind variables. But dynamic SOQL queries are far more flexible, and you need to use database.query method to execute these queries. So let's go back to our developer console and let's build a dynamic query. So in our anonymous window, I'm going to create a string variable called account class. And for now, I'm going to give it a value as class1. And we are going to use this variable to build our dynamic SOQL query. For example, let's say I have a query string, like let me create a variable called query string. You can name it whatever you want. And it's querying some field from the account object. So ID, name, phone, and rating from account. So this is a simple SOQL query and there's nothing new that we have done here. But now we are going to add some more conditions to this SOQL query based on the account class variable value. So I'm going to have a if condition and I'm going to check if account class is equals to class1. Then what I'll do, I'll only fetch the accounts which are having a rating as hot and the amount as greater than 100k. So I'm going to add some text to my query string variable. So here what I'll do, I'll add a where condition. Make sure that you give space because we don't have any space after account object, where rating is hot. And here we need to escape our single quotes, and for that we are going to use /, as / is used to escape a character in string. And we are going to have a condition on amount which should be greater than 100k, let's say. So this would be our SOQL query, and this part of SOQL query will be built at runtime because this account class value could be anything. So I'm going to have one more condition here, else if account class equals to class2, then I'm going to have different condition here. So this time the rating could be warm and amount could be greater than 10k, or else I'll simply retrieve all my accounts where amount is greater than 10k. So here our query will be built at runtime because we are not sure what will be the value of account class. In this example, we know that the account class value is class1, but when you will be working in a project, you will have certain scenarios where the variable value could be anything, and based on the variable value, you need to construct your SOQL query at runtime. So now let's simply execute this query. It's going to return us list of account. Let's call it accounts. And now we are going to use database.query method here, which accepts the query string which is this for our case, and now we can print the output. Let's also print the account size. And let's execute this query. And it says no such column amount on entity account. Okay, let's go to account, and here let me go to the object definition. We may have to find some other field where we can put our condition. Okay, it doesn't have a field called amount, so let's add a condition on maybe like type. And what are the values in type? Let's check it out. Okay, prospect, customer direct. Yeah, so we can have a condition on type, and this time we can say like the type equals to, again we need to use escape character, maybe like prospect, and in the second condition we can change it to other. We might not see any result, as maybe like we do not have any record which satisfy these conditions, but for now let's still go ahead with our dynamic query construction, and this time where rating could be. So now let's execute our code. Our code is working fine, and in our debug logs search for SOQL, and here you will notice that our query had a where condition called rating equals to hot and type equals to prospect, because account class is class 1, but if you change it to class 2 then the condition will change, and this is something that is being done at runtime. So let's filter out logs, and this time our condition is rating equals to warm and type equals to other, and if we change it to class 3 then this will be our third SOQL query with only one condition. So here we are having a condition on the rating field, and the rating field value should be hot. This time we have also got some results, so we have got 2 rows in return, but in our previous queries we did not get any result because none of the record matches these conditions. So this is how you can create dynamic SOQL queries, and this could be super useful in certain conditions where you are not sure about the where condition, or where you want to build the where condition based on the some variable value or based on the user input. So that's all in this video. I'll see you all in the next video.